What's up, everybody? This is Steven with Steve Snaketuary and Virgin Cow. We've got something special for you today. First of all, if you guys haven't seen my other video, we got some new custom Snaketuary Medusa pickups. Check those out. These are from Carondelet Guitars and Pickups. And you notice a snake skin engraved in the pickups? Well, we're going to be playing through these pickups today, and I got something very, very special in yesterday that we want to use today. I got the Rainger FX Minibar. So what you do with this is you actually put different types of liquid in here, and it's an overdrive distortion pedal, but depending on the type of liquid that you put in here, it's going to sound completely different. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to play through all of Steve Snaketuary's hot sauce. We're going to start out with the Copperhead Venom Sauce. Then we're gonna move to the Pygmy Rattlesnake Venom Sauce. Then, of course, the Cottonmouth. Then we're gonna use the Canebrake Rattlesnake. Then the Coral Snake. And then finally, the hottest one that we have currently is the Anti-Venom. And so we're gonna put each of these Steve Snaketuary Venom Sauces, our signature hot sauces, into the minibar and play through it with our new Snaketuary custom Carondelet pickups. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to have any other effects on. We're going to be going straight into the Rainger FX Minibar, and then we're going to be going into our daily Jeff Sheets signature model amp, and that is a Gens George Lynch signature model 212 cabinet. And then, of course, we've got our cabinet guitar cover, our guitar cabinet cover from Steve Snaketuary. So if you guys want some of that, we'll talk about all that stuff later. So we're going to get everything hooked up. And like I said, we're going to go through each of our signature hot sauces to see what they sound like through our guitar, through our hot sauces. That's going to be cool. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back. All right, we got things set up. So I've got the hot sauce lined up right here. This is just going to be my signature custom Snaketuary Medusa pickups from Carondelet. Straight into the pedal, straight into the amp and the cabinet. No other effects or anything. Now this guitar does have, we're going to start out with the humbucker mode and just the bridge pickup. And it does have these coil tap switches, so I may switch it to single coils just to get a little different feel for it. But we're going to move through all of these hot sauces to see what they sound like. This is going to be cool. So first of all, let's start out with the Copperhead Venom Sauce. And now it says you just pour a little bit in there, just enough to cover up those. Oh, yeah. Got to do that classic clean tone, right? So this is the bridge pickup in humbucker mode. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's pour this Copperhead Venom Sauce in here. Now, I may have to change in between takes. Now it says just enough to get the screws covered. Once the screws are covered, that's it. You don't have to put any more in there. And let's see what happens here. Let's see what this does. And then it's got this little knob here, and I'm going to be messing with that knob too. Okay, here we go. Turn it on. All right, let's turn this knob. Let's see, I had the knob all, nope, it's not all the way up. Let's turn it all the way down first. Okay, so that's got to be that's the volume. That's the volume. Let's turn volume all the way up. All right, that's the humbucker mode. That's the bridge humbucker is what it is. Let's switch the bridge humbucker to single coil. See what it does. Pretty dark, thick sound, and it sounds, honestly, it sounds kind of muffled in my opinion, but it's pretty dark, pretty a lot of low end, it sounds like. Let's see, now I've got the neck pickup on, and I've got it in humbucker mode. All right, switch to single coils. Now I've got my volume and my tone all the way up on the guitar. Let's try one more thing. Okay, so I'm putting both humbuckers on, not single coil humbucker. I'm gonna go to the middle position. Ooh, that's really... Okay, now I'm gonna flip. I've got a phase switch right here, and I'm gonna flip this phase switch and see what that does. So the Copperhead Venom Sauce is pretty dark with my guitar going through it. So give me just a minute. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this out, and then we're gonna move on to the next sauce. All right, we're ready for the next sauce. The next sauce is the Pygmy Rattlesnake Venom Sauce. All right. Now all of our hot sauces do have different peppers in them, so they should sound completely different, and they do have different consistencies and stuff too. So let's pour a little bit of this in here. And I'll tell you guys too, for those that didn't know, I wear contacts. So wiping this hot sauce out of here is getting on my fingers, and that is not going to be good when I take my contacts out. Well, there we go. Oh, let me turn this pedal off. Turn the pedal off. All right, so like I said, the thing says you just need enough to cover up the two little screws that are in there, and any more is not going to do anything else, is what the instructions say. So I'm going to go back to the bridge pickup, volume and tone all the way up, and I've got it in humbucker mode. So again, clean, and I got the volume all the way. This is a volume knob on here, and I've got the volume all the way up. A little bit more gain, and not quite. It's still a little muddy, but not quite as muddy as the Copperhead. All right, let's try the single coil mode. Pretty good. I'm digging it so far. Well, I'm digging the single coils especially. I guess the single coil kind of brightens it up a little bit. It doesn't seem to be quite as dull. It doesn't. The other one kind of, honestly, sounded like it had a wet blanket over the speaker. So, all right, let's try the bridge pickup. All right, let's try single coils. It's like when you first hit, this is what it sounds like. When you first hit the chord or the string, it sounds really muted and muffled. But then as the strings ring out, it doesn't, you can hear more of the highs, more of the clarity. So it's kind of... I got my tone and my volume all the way up on the guitar. It sounds like if you rolled the volume knob off of your guitar. That's almost what it sounds like. Definitely gonna have to try this with other guitars, but this is okay, that one's still pretty dark. Let's move on to the next sauce. I just found out something very, very interesting. Check this out. I was cleaning the second hot sauce out. I was cleaning the Pygmy Rattlesnake hot sauce out. There's just barely any touching those screws. Just barely any touching those screws. Okay, I didn't change anything else. I left the pedal on while I was cleaning that hot sauce out. There's not a lot in there at all, just barely enough. Touching the screws. Check this out. That was the bridge pickup in the humbucker mode. That is crazy. Now it said just enough to cover the screws, and that's all I had been poured in there. But when I'm cleaning this out, I left this pedal on, and when I cleaned it out and just a little bit of that hot sauce is in there, it sounds completely different. Completely. That is wild. That is wild. So their instructions say just enough to cover the screws. No more is going to do anything. And that's all I've been putting in there. And now I barely have any in there. And it sounds completely different. That's wild. That's wild. So I may have to do a whole other video putting just a little bit of sauce in there and putting more sauce in there to see how it sounds. This is pretty wild, guys. And I haven't even gotten to the third sauce yet. So let me clean this out. We'll come right back. All right, ready for the third sauce. This is our Cottonmouth Venom Sauce. All right. Now, after that last little deal I found out, I'm not going to put quite as much of this stuff in there. We're going to see how this sounds. And like I said, all of our hot sauces have different peppers in them. So we're gonna see how these act here. Let's see. Come on. I don't want to spill it all over the pedal either, so there we go. Oh, just a little bit. I put just a little bit in there. That's weird. Did you hear the noise? The noise just cut out after I poured it in there. All right, let's see what this guy does. Let's see. Still a little muffled. Again, I'm on the bridge pickup, and I've got it down. So that's in humbucker mode. So let's see. It still sounds a little muffled, man. Let's try the single coils. I just tried bridge pickup in the humbucker mode. Let's try single coil mode. Alright. I got both of them in humbucker mode. Let me try the middle position here. Let me try that phase switch again. Still sounds muffled, but this time it doesn't really sound like you got your, well, I guess kind of sort of like you have your tone rolled back, but it's almost more, that one sounded more like if you had the wah, on, but just in one position. Interesting. All right, let me start. I'm gonna clean a little bit of this out. I'll tell you what, let's see here. Get a paper towel. My paper towels fell. Let me clean just a little bit out and see how that changes things. Now, there's just a couple of drops in there. Man, I'm getting this hot sauce all over my fingers. It's not gonna be good when I take my contacts out. All right, bridge pickup, and I got it in humbucker mode. Bridge pickup. I mean, excuse me, neck pickup. It's interesting. Interesting. Clean this one out. Let's move to the next one. All right, we're moving on to sauce number 4. All right, this is going to be the canebrake rattlesnake sauce. Let's see. All right, come on. I'm just going to put just a little bit this time. After the way those last couple of experiments went, I'm just going to put just barely a little bit. It just barely covered the screws. And we're going to see how this sounds. All right, bridge pickup, humbucker mode, volume tone all the way up. Single coils. It's really, when you're trying to palm mute, it gets really, really, really muffled. Really bassy, really boomy. Let's try the neck pickup. Try single coils. Try the middle position with a phase switch up or phase switch on. Sounds like a really cocked wah. I mean, it sounds like you've got that wah just in that certain position, you know? It sounds like you lose a lot of definition on the single notes. Now, the cool thing about these new pickups, I will tell you, is when you roll the volume back, it cleans up really well. So what I've got it on the bridge pickup, I've got it in a humbucker mode. I'm gonna roll the volume back and see what it does. Yeah, it's like you roll the tone knob back. All right, let's move on to the next sauce. All right, we're moving on to the 5th sauce, and I'm getting hot sauce all over my guitar picks too. All right, this is the coral snake sauce, venom sauce. This is our jerk sauce, and so it's got some fruit in there. So let's see what this does. And again, I'm just gonna pour just a little bit because it seemed like when I put just a little bit in there, the sound was a lot different than when we poured quite a bit in there. So let's pour just a little bit. Come on, there you go. Put just enough in there, just enough. All right, let's see. All right, again, bridge pickup, humbucker position. It sounds almost like you roll your tone knob back, or if you got a wah pedal on in a certain position. Let's try single coils, bridge pickup. That sound is the most, so far, is the most, the brightest, I guess, most usable rock sound, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It doesn't sound like... Not quite as muffled, so I got, that's the, let's try the neck pickup. Oh yeah, that's really like you got the volume rolled back on that one. Let's try the split, that's coil tap it. Man, just, wow. Let's try that middle position. Try that phase switch. That's definitely that wah sound on that one. All right, let's put that back one more time. It's the bridge position in humbucker mode. Let's try this. Let me try and take a little bit out of this. Let's see what this does here. Leave just barely anything in there. Okay, just barely. There's just barely anything in there. Man, that hot sauce is getting everywhere. All right. That is the bridge pickup in single coil mode. All right, let's keep moving on. So we got one more left. So let me get this cleaned out and we'll try the last one. All right, we're moving on to the last sauce. This is our anti-venom sauce. This is the hottest sauce that we currently have. And so let's try it with this Rainger FX Minibar. So far, this has been a very, very interesting experiment. Ooh, that's some good stuff. All right, I'm gonna pour just a little bit in there. Let's see, come on. Let's go, there you go. Oh, I'm gonna put just a little bit in there. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's just a little bit. That's a little bit more than what I wanted to put in there, but that's okay. All right, let's try this bridge pickup in humbucker mode. Yeah, still that muffled sound, still that. Either roll your tone knob back or kick that wah pedal and leave it on. All right, let's try single coils. the neck pickup in humbucker mode. That was really boomy, really boomy. Let's try single coils. Still really boomy in the single coil mode. Let's see. Let's do the middle position, phase switch off. Phase switch on. Well, so this is from what I'm hearing here, it sounds like the hot sauce, our hot sauce anyway, makes it really muffled, like you turn your volume your tone knob down, or if you leave the wah pedal on. It sounds better, in my opinion, when you put it in single coils, not humbuckers. But it's interesting. It's a very interesting experiment, and who knows, I might do another video and mix some of these and see what it does. But again, this is Steven with Steve Snaketuary and Virgin Cow. If you guys are interested, contact Carondelet Guitars for those custom Snaketuary Medusa pickups. Check those out. Those are really cool. That snake skin on there. If you guys are interested in our Steve Snaketuary Venom Sauce, you can contact us. You can email us at our website at snaketuary.com. Same thing with the guitar cabinet covers. You can contact Anchor Merchandising for that. And then again, this is Steven with Steve Snaketuary. We're running our Venom Sauce, our signature hot sauces, into the Rainger FX Minibar. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we're going to do some more videos, especially showing off our new pickups, our new custom pickups. And then if you guys didn't know, we have got 2 custom guitar pedals too. So I'll go ahead and show those real quick here. Let's see. This is one of them. This was made by Summer School Electronics. This is a double overdrive pedal. And then we also have our signature amp in a box distortion pedal. This was made by Sketchy Sounds. So we definitely need to do some videos on those two. But this is Steve with Steve Snaketuary and Virgin Cow. We'll see you guys later.